This is only a test, guys. This is only a test. I am the Chronomancer. I cast Chaos Bolt. Okay, when he first casts, he like shoots a beam out that will one-shot you. What's up, everybody? Kafka here, and today we're bringing you another Chronomancer build, and this is by far the strongest Chronomancer build I have tried out and what I've played. So we wanted to make a build that could pretty much do everything efficiently. The Chronomancer is actually really quick because you could get extra cast speed, you could get cooldown reduction, which helps your blink, and you could really pump out some damage on this character. So what you're seeing is a couple things. So you're going to see a cast on crit Comet. We are using Archmage, and we are using Choir. Choir is the amulet that allows you to get greater lightning bolts. So based on every time you crit. So we are critting a ton in this build. We're pumping crit in the tree, we're pumping crit in gear, and I will say you might have some gear laying around, but this build probably is pretty expensive to make. I would say I could probably put a halfway build together. People always ask me in the comments the price. I don't know what kind of gear you already have, so it's hard to tell. It's hard to say an exact price, but probably for about 20 divine from scratch, I could put something together to make it work. It probably won't be as strong as this, but if you're already a Chronomancer, you might already have some gear. You might have some stuff in your inventory to make it work. So I would leave it up to you to take a look at the trade website if this is something that piques your interest. I really enjoy this build. It is very good at bossing. It is very good at reaches. It is very good at mapping. It's fast. So good at the Trial of Secumus because it's so fast. I think I did it in 22 minutes, my best run in Trial of Secumus. Really, the only thing that gives trouble is T4 Simulacrum. That is probably one of the hardest contents in the game I found for Sorc. Maybe if you have a straight Spark Stormweaver build, you could do it a bit faster. But this is Spark, Greater Lightning Bolt, Comet, cast on crit. It shreds bosses like you've never seen before. It is a very, very good build. You do need spirit in this build too. So you need more spirit than the average actual build. So I have 201 spirit without the neck piece. That means I got a helm that has an enchant of spirit on it. Also, I'm using a Venter's Gamble that doesn't have great stats, but it's decent stats, and it has spirit on it too. So there are a few things that make this build a little bit more complicated to make, but I've never made a Chronomancer build that was this strong. So a couple things you'll see in the video. You've seen the breach. The breach went really well. This is ritual. This is I don't know, a T15 map, mediocre hard, whatever. But I am running really any map, no problem. It is very, very good. So you see me kill the boss at the beginning, the Arbiter. That was very easy as well. Any boss just gets shredded up. You will notice that I do go to Expedition, and the Expedition, actually, I must have clicked something that made the mobs incredibly hard because I was trying to just run as fast as I could. And I basically got done with the map in, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes. And there was a lot going on. There was 4 rituals. There was a breach, and there was an expedition, and literally I must have did immune to lightning damage or something like that is what I picked, so I could only kill him with Comet. So I actually had to run out for a minute, which is pretty funny. But I do recommend having the flask of Melting Maelstrom on this build. This flask is good in any build. If you have not bought this flask yet, I think you could get them for 8 or 9 divine now, which is actually pretty cheap. And something else you'll want to check out is make sure you have some good jewels, or be okay with buying some jewels, because you definitely need jewels with 2% mana on kill. And I think this goes for a lot of builds where you're not going to use energy shield. I have 3 in my build currently, and I wouldn't mind having 4. Also, crit chance is so important in this build because you want to crit as much as possible. Spell damage is really good. Critical strike damage is also really good on these gems. Cast speed, mana regeneration. So if you have some gems you want to check out before you look at the build, I have the planner in the description so you can see what I am working with. But I think this build is phenomenal, and I want to get into showing you guys off everything. Also, we did go back and kill everything at the expedition site just to get all the loot for it. After we picked up all the loot, you'll notice that we almost got smashed, but here you can see we actually killed everything. We had to go get a shrine, and the shrine actually made it work, which is pretty funny. All right, let's go over some of the stuff here. So first, you're going to notice I got Greater Lightning Bolt. I wish you could get a 5-socket. You cannot get a 5-socket yet. That would be very helpful for this build, but we are using straight damage abilities on the Greater Lightning Bolt. First, it's considered casting, concentrated effect, magnified effect, and then also lightning penetration. All those help with damage except for this, just more area effect. And I'm not even sure if that works great, but it might. So it looks like I took it off and I put it on and I tested it, and it feels like it is a little bit more of an area effect, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you know, comment down below, let me know. We are using Temporal Rift, so if we use a bunch of mana up, we could use Temporal Rift and go back to full mana. Or if you get stuck in a weird spot, you can use Temporal Rift and go back. That is the main defense ability, I guess you could say, along with Time Freeze. Time Freeze is really good. You'll notice that I am using it on my second skill slot, so I do have to swap to Time Freeze. So when I want a Time Freeze, I swap to my second weapon slot so I could actually have a duration longer. Actually, normally I put persistence on there as well, and I throw ambush on the spark, or mobility. I'm sorry, mobility. That's what normally goes there. So we're faster. So mobility goes on spark, but you'll see the rest here. So Time Freeze has second wind, so I cast it twice. And then you can see I cast it again now, and I just casted it. Persistent, and I don't think this really does much, but Unbreakable can go in there. We got Blink with Ingenuity on it. I like Ingenuity there instead of Temporal Rift because I like being fast. You can see how fast I could teleport. And then sometimes being a Chronomancer, you're going to get a 33% chance to not use the cooldown, which it's not working right now. We're going to wait till it does work. Wow, I am getting super unlucky here. There it goes. Now I get 4 in a row. So it does work. All right, so that's Blink. And then Spark. I am trying to pump Spark's damage up quite a bit. We're using Acceleration because we want faster Sparks. We also want Inspiration, so it costs less. So we actually keep up with that mana. Arcane Temple for more speed. Ambush is really good for this because it gives you 100% crit chance against full health enemies. So my crit chance is 100% more of 52%. So I am going to be casting a lot more Greater Lightning Bolts because it actually is 100% of that. I guess it would be about an extra 25%. So on the first hit, it's almost a 75-ish% crit chance with ambush, which is good. Mobility just to move around the map faster. I just love having a mobile character. That's kind of why I like this on the Chronomancer. It feels faster. I haven't tried it on the Stormweaver. I might throw all the gear on the Stormweaver and see how it fares. I'm assuming it would be pretty good too. We are using Conductivity, not twice. I don't know why that's there, but we're using Cast on Critical. We have Comet in there. We have Elemental Focus, Cold Mastery, Energy Increase with Impetus, Spell Echo. So you'll notice that it's 238, but that goes up a ton, especially when you start triggering your Greater Lightning Bolt. This will go up a lot. I think I've seen it up to 600k, and I've seen this up to 700k, my Greater Lightning Bolt. That's when I'm going to use the next ability, which is Soul Offering. So when I do weapon swap, I have them, and you can see I get a big buff right there for Greater Lightning Bolt. Boom. And it lasts a long time because I have Skill Duration on. And I don't have Arcane Surge on either. So once I have all that stuff on, it just buffs it a ton. 499 right there. So you've seen 499. It will always be higher when I'm in battle. It goes up to 760k is the most I've seen. For that, I'm using the main things are Ablation and then Dance Macabre And minion mastery, this is just so the minions don't die to mobs when they're hanging out. That's all that's for. We are using conductivity once in a while. I feel like I don't even need it on bosses, but you can throw it on a boss to help drain the boss life a little bit more. But I feel like it's not even needed. You do so much damage in this build. The most damage, like I said, on a Chronomancer. Now, we do need to talk about the gear. The gear is really important. First, with the weapon, you need all skills because it helps the Comet, and you need crit chance. You have to have crit chance on your weapon and your focus in this build. I don't know how much this cost. I'm assuming it's a decent amount. Let's just check real quick. So we went to the trade website and we found this right here for 1 divine. It has 107% crit. It has mana on it. It also has 4 to all level skills. So that was 1 divine for this. This thing actually pumps too. And there's some better ones for a little bit more. So that is not that bad. 107 crit would be lovely in this build. And there's some I see even better for 3 divine, 2 divine that are actually even better than this one. So wand, not that expensive. The helm actually could get a little bit pricey because you need one with plus the spirit on it for this build. You'll see that I am only 1 over cap, so 25 spirit is what I got there. It depends on how your Venter's Gamble is. Mine has 9 spirit on it, and it has rarity, and it has resist. I think I got this for 6 divine, but then everything else I pretty much had besides these 2 items, and I think I bought this helm for 4 divine. I had this too. I had the wand. I had the other rings. I had the choir. You get one for 10 exalt. I had the boots and I had the gloves. The focus is also another important piece. The really expensive focuses we need to talk about focus for a second. So the focus ones are the really expensive ones have +2 to all skills. So I have this one right here, which is actually has +1 to all skills. I could find it right here, but this one's better because it has spell damage on it. So you could find a focus cheap. This one was not an expensive focus. I think it was a couple divine, and it was better than this one right here with all skills. It's only +1, so you don't need +2 to all skills. I think everyone thinks you need that. No, get high crit chance, cast speed's great, mana regeneration is great, and then spell damage, and you have a good focus. And I think they're a lot easier to find. Back to the Melting Maelstrom, everyone should be getting this. This is something you're going to want when the league resets. You're going to want this item. This is very, very good. You're definitely going to want this on any build you play. I think it's the most important piece. The actual chest has to have spirit on it. I have 60 on mine. You could get a little bit higher on there. So if you have to get a little bit lower on this, you can. But I was trying to max out my chaos resist. So I got a chaos resist on it. It has energy shield. It has fire resist, which I needed as well. So you're gonna have to play around with your own resist to see what works best for you. I do have chaos resist on the ring as well with mana regeneration, rarity. The nice thing about this build is you could get a lot of rarity with it. So I think I'm at 150 rarity, right around that. Right now on kill effects, 157 rarity. And I'm like, I wasn't even trying to get rarity, and I just happened to get a bunch of rarity on it. And about the resist, I have maxed out resist, but I played for a long time with 45 chaos resist, and it didn't feel bad. So if you can't max out your chaos resist, you could still play this build. Mana regeneration is actually really important. I don't get Arcane Surge until I crit because of the anoint here. Aspiring Genius is this right here, where you get 20% mana regeneration, but the most important part is you have a 10% chance to get Arcane Surge when you deal a critical hit. I'm always critical hitting, so this is always up in battle. So that's why my damage doesn't show as good as it is, because I don't have Arcane Surge perma up. So, but once I crit something, I basically get it. When I start fighting, I end up getting it. All right, so let's look at this tree since we're here. This is the Ascendancy. I think one of the coolest Ascendancies there is. The Chronomancer just has all the cool abilities. I think they're fantastic, and I think that they're the most fun to play in terms of the Ascendancy tree out of the 2. So you get more cast speed with Quicksand Hourglass. Obviously, you get Time Freeze. You get Now and Again. So this is very, very good. We are going for spell damage, so it infects both Comet and your Greater Lightning Bolt and your Spark ability. Mana regeneration is very good. Cast speed's very good. More crit, as much crit as you could get, because we're not going energy shield, so we could save a lot of points and put a ton of points into crit here. You're gonna see more crit here. Like I talked about, 2% mana on kill, 2% mana on kill. This one's not that great, but it is what it is. It has 2% mana on kill. 2% mana on kill. Very good. You want pure power because it helps out both with Archmage and Comet, and it does help out Spark and Greater Lightning Bolt. More crit. This is all for basically time freeze or curses. We don't run CI. Careful Assassin, more crit. Actually, you get a lot more crit here too. All this crit nodes, very good. I'll probably put some more crit in here. This actually would be really good. Then you go over this way and you get the Arcane Surge. So you get a higher chance to get more critical hit chance to give you a better Arcane Surge. You're triggering spells a lot and you're critting a lot. So this is really good with Storm Charged. More crit, more elemental damage. And then more crit over here as well, crit damage. So pretty much we're getting skill effect duration, crit chance, crit damage, spell damage, and we're just pumping into as much of that as possible with mana regeneration. And that's the build, man. That is it. We got a link in the description. I'm enjoying it. I think it's strong. I think it's, if you're not knowing what to do with your Chronomancer next, this is something you could put together and have some fun with. I know I like it. Tell me in the comments what you guys think. This is just something I thought about and put it together. So I appreciate you guys watching the video. We did hit over 5,000 subs, but if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe to Kafka Gaming because we got a lot more content coming your way, and we will talk to you soon. Later.